So my friend bought his first car and everyone was very happy. He bought drinks, everybody drank, we married, we enjoyed ourselves, we were so happy, we congratulated him. But something happened after a few months because he's a novice. Of course, it is his first car. He barely have knowledge about cars. What happened? As he was traveling, just somewhere in the middle of his journey, he started seeing something like smoke coming out from his bonnet. What happened? He didn't keep his eyes on the dashboard. Of course, as a first-time car owner, those lights that are on the dashboard, he barely knows what they signify. So the temperature of his engine rose to the extent that the radiator water boiled so much, steams were coming out from his bonnet. So he had to park and then opened the bonnet. He would have done the biggest mistake that would have cost him his life, or maybe leave a scar on his body that he will never ever forget. And what is that mistake? He wanted to rush to open the cover of the radiator. As a car owner, regardless of how many years you must have driven car, you might not have this knowledge. Assuming he ended up opening that radiator, that hot water is going to splash out, and wherever it touches on his body is going to peel off immediately. It is very dangerous. So he had to call me and then told me, look, this is what is going on. And I told him, do not open the cover of the radiator. Allow the engine to cool down. Now, this brings us to the topic of the day. If you are driving and suddenly the temperature of your car starts to go up, what do you need to do? Number one thing is safety. Find a safe place and then you park. Once you park, allow the engine to cool down. People make mistakes of forcing the radiator cover open. You see some people go for a thick cloth, put it on top of the radiator cover and then force it open. And the next thing they do is to pour water into that radiator or the water reservoir. That's the worst mistake you are going to make, because once you do that, it is going to affect the top of that engine, and there is no way you are going to fix that without changing the top gasket of that engine. So automatically at that point, you have damaged a part of your car engine. So what should you do? First things first, like I said before, allow the engine to cool down, and after that, check the coolant port. If you have a coolant, pour it to the reservoir, then add water to your radiator when the engine must have cooled down. Then if you drive a little bit and find out that the engine is still overheating, that the temperature is still going up and there's nowhere you can get help close, leave the radiator cover open. Then try to get a place where you are going to get help, either a roadside mechanic or maybe you call your mechanic if you're close to the town. Hope you learned something. Now, here are some things that can cause overheating in your car. Number one, if the water pump suddenly stops working, the car will start to overheat, because the water pump is what supplies water to all the holes and other parts where water is supposed to flow through the engine to cool it down. Secondly, a bad radiator. If the radiator, the spores where air is supposed to flow in to cool in the water, is blocked, it is going to cause the car to overheat. And another thing, a bad fan. If the fan is not working at all, or maybe it is not working properly, it is also going to cause the engine to overheat. We have other things or factors that can cause a car to overheat, but these ones that I've just mentioned are the common ones you should have in mind. I believe you got the point. This is Hill Fox Auto Papers. Treat this as a reminder. Have a nice day and see you on the next one.